My name is Viet. Born and raised here, San Leandro. I was a cop before this, SFPD, Air Force, SFPD, then started dabbling into cooking, and Royal Oxen Kitchen is what I kind of formed after that. Started out with me and another buddy of mine. So how I started dabbling into cooking, while being a cop at that time. I have a friend, started seeing him really working with high-end ingredients. When you're cooking and stuff like that, whatever you do in your craft, you want to kind of work with like the best of the best, right? What's a very unique, hard to come by, unattainable, depending on where you at in your finances. Yeah. So I started seeing him posting up some really good ingredients, Wagyu, caviar, bluefin tuna, whatnot, whatever it is. And I just wanted to work with those kind of like ingredients. So I reached out to him like, hey man, can I cook with you? Can we collab a little bit? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, for sure. So that's when we started out with our pop-up and started up with like little dinners amongst friends, getting to try and taste our food, see feedback, right? Yeah, the feedback, validation. Things started to grow. So then we started thinking about what's our name. So we both like poker. So in poker, the highest suit is a royal flush. We're both of Vietnamese descent. So in Vietnam, the workforce in the rice field is an ox. And the plural for ox is oxen. And then, we're honing our craft in the kitchen. So put those three together, Royal Oxen Kitchen. I would say it's within the realm of fine dining, but I wouldn't put it out there entirely as fine dining. I would say I'm more contemporary. In the middle, I try to push the envelopes a little bit. I try to blend the flavors in different aspects in different cultures. Yeah. See what works, what doesn't, and then make it unique to myself. Birthdays, to anniversary, weddings, and just basically small get-togethers. Some sample menus that I have, and I'll send it to the clients and have them look over that. And that's not a set menu, by the way. So anything at that point is basically it's flexible. It's whatever is in season and all that stuff. And if they tell me what they're looking for, I have people it's like, hey, can you make Mediterranean? Can you do Italian? Can you do Caribbean? Like, I don't specialize in that stuff, but I do a little bit of R&D. So like I'll research a little bit. I'll either find restaurants around the area, try the flavors out, try to see what I can do to make it myself, and then have people taste it, test it, and I'll run with it on the menu, and then we'll go from there. Self-taught all the way, a lot of trial and error. One example would be like a dessert that I feel like I'm pretty confident and pretty good in. The wife and I would go to Vegas. Gordon Ramsay is one of the celebrity chefs that I really look up to. I love his style, his flair and everything. And we went to a restaurant, and the dessert that was on the menu was a sticky toffee date pudding, vanilla bean ice cream, toffee caramel sauce on top. Come home, make it, get all the ingredients, look all the recipes up, and then do all my research. Failed and bombed the first time, and then kept going at it until like I think the sixth time. I feel like I got it down pretty good to my style. Not exactly, but it's the flavors and everything. I think it's pretty much there. Being self-taught, then I would just dabble into other friends that are chef, pick their brains, ask them techniques and styles and stuff like that, and then at the same time making sure that I'm not trying to kill anybody, food handling and all that stuff. Right. I did take the classes on that at least, right? Food handling, safety class, stuff, right? Yeah, to do all that. So at least I know I'm doing everything within standards. Right. Yeah. Right. I don't really need to have any formal training other than knowing like what to do and what not to do. Yeah. No, it's one of those things where because anybody could work in the food industry, work in the kitchen as long as they, you start from the bottom too. Right. It's depending on the restaurant you go into, and then after that, it's just like your experience and skills. My startup cost, I would say it's around like about $5,000. My own business, getting a license and equipment, and then inventory costs, because the one thing with food is you always have to have food, fresh food in hand and stuff like that. See what's in season, see what's good and stuff like that, yeah. I would say, I think within like almost 3 to 4 months. When you get good clients, they like your food and the pay is decent. trying to get my menu set. And people are like, hey, what's your menu? And I'm sitting here in my head, I don't have that written down because I don't know what I need to have on hand readily available. So, you know, just starting out and then not really know that aspect of it, to basically get clientels, trying to get people to book you. You want to charge what you're worth, and you don't want to sell yourself short at the same time. My range goes from like 160 to like 250 per person. Because here's the one thing about cooking and food and stuff like that. Let's just say, using one ingredient for example, uni. If the dish that I want to make for you is like a uni shooter, right? In a shot glass. I'll use basically like hamachi, kind of like Alexander Steakhouse, where they got like ponzu sauce, some microgreens with the uni on top, which you're only gonna use maybe like, depending on if it's like Japan uni or local uni, you know what I mean? Japan uni is gonna be a lot smaller. Local uni is gonna be a little bit bigger, so it'll fill out the cup. But I'm only using a little bit, but I have to buy a whole tray. So as far as cost wise, I'm taking a hit on buying this whole big cost, where I'm only going to use a little bit. So you gotta make up for that somewhere, right? Yeah. So either if I know somebody that wants to, you know, buy the rest of the uni from me, and I'm only using a little bit, then yeah. But other than that, that's why my minimum for a person or 2-person dinner try to be around like $500. Okay. Primarily Instagram is one that I'm more or less focused on. I do have Facebook, not really great on that. Yelp, don't know if I have Google up, but I'm pretty sure there's some people that have left review, and review are the biggest thing for me in terms of like word of mouth, for somebody to book me and find me, to help me out with my business. Yeah, so definitely I've had people search me, and word of mouth. Those are the two biggest factors in people booking me. And the thing I like most is refers me. Yeah, because they tried my food, they're unbiased, they're not like my friends or anything like that. So, you know, they can give you an honest review of like my style, my taste, my flavor. I would say it's pretty important because for me, I try to put my newest content out there, or my most recent dishes, or most recent event, so people could kind of see and follow to see. And it's almost a nice thing because they can see, if you've been with me from the beginning, from day one, and then to where I'm at now, you can definitely see my transition and the growth. I can't say that I've had a slow season because my business comes sporadically. You know, everyone has birthday throughout the year. Everyone has events throughout the year. So I don't think there's one month or one season more or less than the other. But I would say at least holiday seasons, you know what I mean? It's a busy season for me, just like anything else. There was an event I did in the city for a school. It's like a charter school, like a Presidio Knowles, and they hired me for the gala, so that was a huge budget, huge event. But I had to run a team and everything. The budget spent was at least upwards of like $14,000. So that's me with paying my staff, all the ingredients, renting out like a commercial kitchen because I needed a bigger space than I have right now. There's a lot of expenses that go into it, right? That event basically, it was slotted for 350 to 400 people. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Yeah, definitely, man. Monthly overhead, not much, because it's my house, so I'm already paying for my house. So just running a freezer and a fridge really doesn't, you know, it's not that much of an additional cost. So other than basically the ingredients that I would have to like have on hand, is the only other monthly expenses, I guess you would say. The type of cuisine I have, or that I try to make, I have certain things on hand in the freezer that I know off the top of my head right now. If somebody asks me, hey, can you do this dinner? I'll make a menu that I know that I have ingredients for. And then stuff that I have to go to the store and get, then basically I have an idea of what's in season. Yeah, you just pick those up whenever. Don't be afraid to fail. Take the risk and manage your time. I can go back, I'll tell myself those 3 things and ingrain it into my head. Because, you know, you get stagnant. If you're not doing anything, you kind of lose the drive to do it. So for me, I'm always in the kitchen, and even though I'm cooking eggs every day for my kids, very simple, they'll have rice and eggs. I'll still find different ways and techniques to cook an egg, add a little bit of flavors for them to eat, but at the same time to make it better. Yeah. With cooking, there's always room for error. In certain circumstances where, you know, the guest is something like, hey, this is not as good, this is overcooked, stuff like that. You know, for me, it's always a learning experience. Yeah. Well, where did I miss that mark? Right. Where did I fail in that? Yeah. And basically try not to. And the one thing is, you failed on that, so you're gonna have to learn. So for the next time, you don't do the same mistakes. Right. So I have my business license. And my most used equipment is basically my foam storage box. It's basically like very lightweight, and that's where I store all my food when I'm transporting it, and it holds the heat in really well. And then if I throw a couple ice packs, it holds, you know, it keeps it cool. Yeah. And the knife, obviously. Oh, yeah. You gotta cut, right? Definitely, you gotta have the knife skills, man. I would say upwards to maybe like 1,500. Each knife, every knife is used for different aspects of cooking. Yeah. And my one main knife would kind of be like a style of a chef knife. I do have a chef knife, but it's a Japanese santoku knife, and that's basically kind of the same. And that's the one knife I use for like pretty much everything. But then you have a knife for everything else, right? Slicing down fish, breaking down fish, or cutting through bone, you know, or a small little paring knife to really be more intricate, you know. So you have the main plus the sidekicks. Yeah, have to. Yeah. Do I want to have a brick and mortar? I like doing the way I'm going about it right now. Right. I love meeting new people. I love going to people's houses and cooking for them. I think the one aspect of having a brick and mortar is that at least you have a location. It's open Monday through Friday. People can come in and try your food. Right. But I like the freedom that I have so far because I have 3 young kids. Yeah. I'm a full-time dad. Yeah. So I'm in charge of like pickup, drop-offs, and all this other stuff. So on that note, I'm not fully, I guess, invested to want to go and have a brick and mortar. In the near foreseeable future, maybe, but I don't know where I'm at with that. Definitely the pros is the flexibility that you have and everything is here on hand. Yeah. The con, limited space, prepping, unless you have like a huge table, commercial kitchen with everything, then yeah, those are my, you know what I mean? It's hard for me if I wanted to run an event where I have to cater to like 200 people right now out of this kitchen. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean, this is my garage, but in my kitchen, the space in itself, you know what I mean? You definitely need the space. So you do all the prep, most of your prep in the kitchen? Yeah. In your regular kitchen? Yeah, I mean, but I remodeled the kitchen, so it's almost like a little chef's kitchen. I have a nice, huge counter space, nice stove, range. That it's not small, it's big, so at least I could still do a lot of stuff there. Sure. It gets the job done. It definitely does get it done. I was gonna ask for a quick tour, but I mean, you've already talked about it, right? You had your freezer there, and your fridge right there. Yeah. So that's pretty much the end of the tour. 2023 would basically be finishing my culinary school. Let's talk about that a little bit. I didn't really need to enroll in culinary school, but I did at the same time because I feel like it's necessary for, if I'm gonna call myself a chef or people are gonna call me a chef, you want that validation. And for me, I just want to do it because there's a lot of stuff that I was not taught along the way that I wanted to know and get the fundamentals and get the foundation down. Yeah. So more of a personal goal. Yep, definitely.